Last spring, the Texas legislature passed SB 8, a law that takes abortion rights in Texas out behind the barn.
Protest over what is now the most restrictive abortion law in the country. It forbids abortion in Texas after cardiac activity is detected, typically around 6 weeks, before many women know they're pregnant.
Harsh, but not surprising. When it comes to restricting abortions, Texas gonna Texas. But what's different about SB 8 is how it tries to enforce its ban on abortion. I talked to Nancy Northup of the Center for Reproductive Rights for more. Exactly how up on the up meter is this law? Are we talking like this up?
It is preventing about 85% of abortion patients being able to get access in the state of Texas by creating a legal scheme that has been very hard to challenge in court. It's outrageous.
That is up.
It is a massive violation of constitutional rights, yes.
According to Nancy, the genius of this law lies in how it lets the state of Texas put its hands all over women's health without leaving any fingerprints. This is a law that is designed to not be enforced so that it cannot be challenged in court.
Well, what Texas has done is said, okay, we're going to make citizens vigilantes who can go after a $10,000 or more bounty by suing a provider, someone who works at a clinic, a friend who drives you to the clinic, somebody who maybe loans you money for your procedure. It's a law designed so that the state of Texas is not going to enforce it, so that we can't go into court and sue the state of Texas.
An unconstitutional law that can't be ruled unconstitutional? Genius. What kind of brilliant legal mind could have come up with an idea to crowdsource the war on women?
My name is Lee Dixon, and I'm a director with the Right to Life of East Texas.
Mark is one of the pioneers of using civic enforcement, aka vigilantes, to restrict abortion rights.
So before, when abortion ban would be about to go into effect, what would happen is a judge would stop that law, and some have realized that the private enforcement mechanism is the best option that we have to really make a difference in the overall picture of abortion legislation.
So you're basically admitting that this law was designed to go around our constitutional legal system.
Well, I mean, the courts have said many things over the years that have not really lined up with what we know is true.
It feels like you are wanting to go back in time a little bit, like this is the Wild West, except instead of carrying around 6 shooters, people have lawyers, you know? Is that the goal here?
Everyone loves Batman, right? No one's complaining about having a costume vigilante known as Batman getting the job done. And so why are people against private citizens to get the job done?
Explaining comic books to women while also restricting their rights. This guy must be getting laid 24/7.
So I am a 36-year-old virgin.
Okay. It's all coming together now. So let me get this straight. You're not a lawyer, nor a woman, nor do you have kids, or have you ever been in a situation where you might have kids, and yet you are the person to help design laws to restrict women's reproductive rights. It seems like you're kind of literally the last person who should be designing this law.
I don't feel that way.
I mean, I almost can't think of anyone less qualified to do this. Maybe a cat? Unlike his virginity, Mark didn't have to wait long for his law to go into action.
A lawsuit has been filed against San Antonio doctor Alan Brait, who is being sued by Oscar Stilley.
That's right, Oscar Stilley, the first man to file suit against Texas abortion providers under SB 8. And I was ready to go face to screen to find out why this anti-abortion radical was so dedicated to restricting women's rights.
I'm just not. I'm not anti-choice.
What?
I'm not hostile to a person who needs an abortion for whatever reason.
I'm confused. Why are you doing this then?
I care about having a government that doesn't use deceitful tricks to try to hide out their brand new law from people who want it tested in the courts. I've created a situation so you have a vigorously represented side of both sides of the case. You have a plaintiff and you have a defendant.
Since the main purpose of SB 8 is to have the mere threat of legal action deter abortion providers, Oscar was trying to force the issue by bringing a suit that would lead to a clear ruling. He was vigilanteing the vigilantes, but he had his own reasons too.
I'm in the custody of the Department of Justice, Federal Bureau of Prisons, home confinement.
What?
I have an ankle bracelet. It's right here. Can you see that?
Yeah. So hold on. How did you wind up on home confinement?
I got crossways with the tax division of the United States Department of Justice.
Oscar, I'm picking up on you having a bit of an issue with authority. Is this just an excuse to kind of mess with the system?
Yes. If this law stands, anybody who is attacking a constitutional right will do it the same way that the Texas legislature did it. It doesn't matter if it's guns, it's free speech, anything else. You just deputize the whole world to go attack the people you don't agree with, and you never allow a court to issue a ruling.
Okay. So hands off my taxes, hands off my guns, hands off my uterus.
That's right. And nobody's going to fight harder than Oscar. Oscar's going to throw down.
Ah, Desi gets it now. Oscar and Desi might agree, but the future of abortion rights in Texas is highly uncertain. In September, the Justice Department sued the state over the constitutionality of SB 8, which will eventually lead to a Supreme Court ruling. Oscar Stilley has added himself to that suit as well, as a plaintiff. I never thought I would say this, but for a disgraced tax fraudster under house arrest, you may not be the hero that we want, but you might just be the hero we deserve.
Thank you. Sometimes those things happen.